Hi, everybody. It is Monday, November 24th. A couple more days, Thanksgiving, and a couple more days after that. And man, it is December and the year's almost over. It's amazing how quickly this one has gone by. Another gorgeous day out here in LA. I'm going to do some more yard work today. I just love being out when it's crisp. It's probably 70, maybe. Really beautiful sky. I'm just looking here. Hummingbirds are just buzzing outside the window here, and butterflies too. It's fabulous. It's fabulous. So I'm going to log a little time in there. We've been busy all morning. I went to the post office. Had 32 books today to sign them all. Got them to the post office and a T-shirt, and ran some errands, and just finished a cameo. And I've got another song to work on for somebody later on today. But I wanted to do a little music. I really have enjoyed kind of going back and visiting some of the film score work that I've been fortunate enough to work on. And I dug up this movie, which was a really interesting, we had an interesting experience in the studio on this one. It's a movie called Playing by Heart. I'll read you a little bit about it, and then I'm going to get into this other thing here. Playing by Heart is a 1998 American comedy drama film which tells the story of several seemingly unconnected characters. It was entered into the 49th Berlin International Film Festival. I'm going to read you off the cast of it. It's an ensemble work that explores the paths of love in its characters' lives. The cast on this is amazing. I mean, it's Angelina Jolie, Dennis Quaid, Ellen Burstyn, Jay Moore, Ryan Felipe, Gina Rowlands, Sean Connery, Gillian Anderson, Jon Stewart, Madeline Stowe, Anthony Edwards, Kelly Waymeyer, Patricia Clarkson, Amanda Peet, and Natasha Kinski, and Hilary Duff. I mean, this was interesting too. According to the director, Willard Carroll, the film was made on a budget of $14 million, which is really low for a feature film. As the cast led by Sean Connery agreed to work for $50,000 each, Carroll praised Connery, saying he continued his total democratic cooperation in the ensemble piece. He was the most generous actor, although he's a larger-than-life star. At that, Connery set the example that others followed. The film's original working title was Dancing About Architecture, a reference to a line in the film based on a quote regarding writing about music. It's the idea of talking about love as the equivalent of dancing about architecture. A second working title, If Only They Knew, made it as far as the top label for some copies of the soundtrack CD. Executive producers were Miramax Films. And it goes on. It's a lot of information about it. Let's see. Now, the thing is, I'm going to get rid of this here. The composer on this was the great John Barry. I mean, I was thrilled just to be in the studio. I think we did this at 20th Century Fox. And it was a fabulous orchestra in there, full orchestra. He wrote some just amazing stuff. I'm going to read you a little about John Barry, just a little, because it is a long bio on him. John Barry Pendergast was born November 3rd, 1933, and he passed January 30th, 2011, was an English composer and conductor for film music. Born in New York, Barry spent his early years working in cinemas owned by his father. During his national service with the British Army in Cyprus, Barry began performing as a musician after learning to play the trumpet. Upon completing his national service, he formed a band in 1957, the John Barry Seven. He later developed an interest in composing and arranging music, making his debut for television in 1958. He came to the notice of filmmakers of the first James Bond movie, Dr. No, who were dissatisfied with the theme for James Bond given to them by Monty Norman. Noel Rogers, the head of music at United Artists, approached Barry. This started a successful association between Barry and the Bond series that lasted 25 years. Barry composed the scores for 11 of the James Bond films between 1963 and 1987, as well as arranging and performing the James Bond theme for the first film in the series, 1962's Dr. No. He wrote the Grammy and Academy Award-winning scores to the films Dances with Wolves, Out of Africa, as well as scores for The Scarlet Letter, Chaplin, Cotton Club, Game of Death, Tamarind Seed, Mary Queen of Scots, and the theme for the television series The Persuaders, a career spanning over 50 years. In 1999, he was appointed with the OBE for service in music. It's a major British award. He received he received 5 Academy Awards, 2 for Born Free, 1 for The Lion in Winter, also a BAFTA Award, Out of Africa Dances with Wolves. He also received Grammy Awards. He received 10 Golden Globe Award nominations, winning once for Best Original Scores for Out of Africa in 1986. He completed his last film score, Enigma, in 2001 and recorded the successful album Eternal Echoes the same year. He then concentrated chiefly on live performances and co-wrote the music to the musical Brighton Rock in 2004, along with Don Black. And it goes on and on and on. I mean, he had a remarkable career, and it's well worth with these people. I've just take a moment and just look it up. I don't want to sit here and read all of this. But really a fascinating man. Now, the thing that was really crazy about this, when we were in the studio doing this, during one of the playbacks, I always love going back after we've cut a cue, and you go back into the control room and listen to it, and just to sonically hear how it's sounding and how it's all working. There was one of the young executives, I think from Fox, came in. I think it was Fox. I'm not. I can't say for sure, but came in and was sitting in there, and somehow a discussion came up about like the next James Bond movie, and one of the people in there said, "Well, John should just do it." I mean, and this guy said, "Well, maybe have him send me a resume," having no clue that John Barry had done 11 James Bond movies at that point, and you could just see all of a sudden John's just sitting there, and suddenly like turns to the guy and something to the effect of, "Thank God you've arrived today to help my fledgling career. That without you, I don't know where I would be," and all. And this young executive was a total dick and stuff. And we're all sitting in the room going, "This is really weird. We got to get out of here," trying to figure out how to leave the room while John is reaming this guy on new rear end. And we're in the middle of doing a movie that they're paying for and everything. But John was like, you find that where you end up talking to like some record company executives and all that. They have no idea of the history of this business. Like they don't know anything below 2010. And it's just shocking sometimes. But when this guy said, "Have him send me a resume," it's like suddenly the air got all completely sucked out of the room. It was unbelievable. But it says, it ends up with John Barry died of a heart attack on the 30th of January, 2011 at his Oyster Bay home at age 77. He was buried in Locust Valley Cemetery, Locust Valley, New York. A memorial concert took place on the 20th of June 2011 at the Royal Albert Hall in London, where the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra, Shirley Bassey, Rumer, David Arnold, Wynne Evans, and others performed Barry's music. George Martin, Michael Parkinson, Don Black, Timothy Dalton, and others also contributed to the celebration of his life and work. The event was sponsored by the Royal College of Music through a grant by the Broccoli Foundation and the Broccoli families who did all the James Bond movies. He's got loads and loads of awards and accolades. Really an amazing, amazing man, and it was really a treat to be in the room with him. And the way he conducted, and he would come in like a beautiful 3-piece suit. I mean, it was like really old school here. Really amazing. But I'm going to play you a couple of pieces from this movie. I can't find musicians. It's so hard when it comes to feature film finding musicians' credits on it. But the thing that was interesting on this project was the music of the great Chet Baker, trumpet player, was really featured in this. And they had the wonderful Chris Bodie playing trumpet on this. And I think Mike Lang might have been playing piano on this. But it's really intimate in the room. It just felt so good. We had the full orchestra there and Chris playing trumpet and stuff. But but it was really a stunning experience. So I'm going to play you just two of the things from this. First one I'm going to play here is just, it's a theme from the film Playing by Heart. So here we go. This is John Barry and Chris Bodie on trumpet. realize also, I mean, that's film score. So there's probably was dialogue going on and maybe some sound effects and different things. So it's always when you hear them like this is really naked. But in a film, they can be buried away, and you're really just hearing it in the distance and stuff. But it's very evocative visually of all kinds of things. That could have just been like a very late night street. That maybe it's been drizzling and raining out, and everything's kind of glistening but quiet and stuff. So here's one more. This one is called Vows Renewed, is the name of this cue. And that's just how they identify these. This is whatever was going on the screen. They'll call these things out. They have graveside site and stay the night and all kinds of different things that they use. These foolish things they did on this. So here we go. This is called Vows Renewed. section down way in the background. Again, this is film. I think I do use, probably played Frankenstein on these tracks. That's the one that really has a really beautiful woody sound to it. So Playing by Heart, the movie, John Barry's compositions, and one of the featured artists on this is Chris Bodie. So I'm going to get going. I'm going to wish everybody a great day, and I'm going to go out and do some yard work and work around the house and take care of some more nonsense, and that's what I do. And I will talk to you later. Bye.